Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Boardsy, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a review of the Hyperx Pulsefire Haste. And trust me, you're going to want to watch this because I know it is easy to dismiss Hyperx mice, but this one is fucking different, I promise. But before I get started, I am running a giveaway that includes the Pulsefire Haste. So fucking click up here. God, I'm getting so good at that, if you want to enter. But yeah, for $50, this mouse is an absolute banger, one of the biggest drops of 2020 in my opinion, because it literally gets everything right. It basically sets the standard. First time I talk about it is build quality. It is solid all around. No rattling, no flexing. Haven't checked for bottom flexing. There is none. Fantastic. Outdid my fucking wildest expectations. No pre-travel on the clicks. No play on the, well, there's a little bit of play, but I can barely notice it. So I guess there's a bit of play on the clicks, but no pre or post travel. They use TTC golds. And when the XM1 RGB dropped, I was like, damn, other companies should start putting like aftermarket switches in their mice. And that's exactly what HyperX did. TTC golds, they came in the package with the Hottie M. They were a fucking solid switch. And now they are in the Pulsefire Haste. And it is really just a sort of premium feel almost. I would say it's undoubtedly better than an Omron 20M. And I'm just very happy to see companies moving away from Chinese Omrons because it just, you click a mouse a lot. When you get a mouse, it is an object that you move around and click. So why settle for fucking shitty clicks? I don't understand. But HyperX is fucking epic for putting in TTC golds. Scroll wheel, it's similar to many other scroll wheels. It's very neutral. Reminds me of like the Mirror S, I think. I don't really know. It's fine. This cable, fucking ridiculous. I know it does look like very weird, but that doesn't matter because it is extremely flexible. It is basically, if you guys remember how old paracords used to feel before people started using fucking PVC wiring, this is on the level of that. I don't know if this means anything to anybody, but yeah, very soft and flexible. But seriously, like, I was offered a paracord for this mouse, and I was like, I just don't need it. The cable's fucking good enough. Truly one of the best stock cables. If the XM1's like a 10 out of 10, I guess this is like a 9.5, and that rounds up to a fucking 10. So really solid in that department as well. Side buttons, they are surprisingly good. They're bigger than like Model O side buttons, and on an FK clone, that's basically all you can ask for. And they're pretty solid. Don't know what switches they use, don't care. The coating, people have been saying it feels like a PBT keycap. I agree. It feels exactly like no difference from the Viper Mini's coating, which does feel sort of like a PBT keycap, and it's solid. However, it does get a ton of like gunk on it. I cleaned off my mouse, but you can still see there's a bit of gunk, and like that's from like a week of use. So I don't know. It does get dirty easily, but it's a solid coating. Doesn't like, you don't sweat on this mouse basically. Very solid. The feet, there are some nice chunks of PTFE. Awkward. I lit mine on fire, believe it or not, because somebody told me that if you light the mouse feet on fire, that is the same as heat treating them. Turns out to not be true. But you also get some replacements in the box along with some grips, and the grips are actually passable, surprisingly. But these feet, they are rounded, they're pretty thick as well. They just took the recommendations that people gave them as to what stock mouse feet should be, and I'm pretty happy. They seem pretty generic. I'm sure that Corpads are going to release something pretty soon for it if you want to replace them. The sensor, it's a 3335, and people are like scared of this. It is not the fucking boogeyman. It is literally a more power efficient 3360. I don't really understand why they would use it. Apparently 3360s aren't being made anymore. If that's true, makes a ton of sense. And it's apparently cheaper than a 3389. And if that's what the fucking, if that's the sacrifice they needed to make this mouse such a banger, I'm fucking okay with it. So I've went over all of the features, have not talked about the shape and weight yet. And I'm not going to get into the fucking nuanced shape differences between the Pulsefire Haste and every other FK clone. Honestly, I don't care. Neither should you. If you've tried a Model O, or if you still have a Model O, this is a reasonable upgrade. Same price point, way better mouse overall. Small to medium hands, any grip style, you'll be able to pull it off on this mouse. Maybe not like super small hands because it is sort of wide, but you get what I'm saying. The grips that they provide are honestly better than a lot of stock grips provided by companies. Pretty solid. I took them off, though. I didn't like it. And the mouse does definitely feel a bit smaller with them off. So I don't know. That's kind of what I prefer for fingertip. But if you do need to make the mouse a bit bigger, you can do that by adding the grips. Now I'm just going to throw in like one crazy Kovacs run I got with this mouse, because even though this isn't like an insane shape for me, I'm not like fucking screaming talking about being my endgame shape. It is comfortable and it has every perfect feature right out of the box. And the mouse just feels great to use. It's something that I'm going to come back to after I review it in its stock form. That is unheard of. I can't remember last time I've done that with a mouse, but the Pulsefire Haste literally has everything I want right out of the box. It's also 59 grams, but since the mouse is a bit longer and even a bit wider, it is like the weight is distributed over a bigger area, so the mouse actually does feel very light while moving it around. I'd say it feels noticeably, or not noticeably, but it feels a bit lighter than the Viper Mini in hand, and overall, I just can't say enough good things about this mouse. I can't think of one weak point because I thought it was going to be a sensor, but the sensor performs literally perfectly. Don't be stupid and complain about the sensor. But yeah, this mouse, probably the best budget mouse of 2020. Can't think of anything better. Kind of fucking nuts. Definitely gets the Boardsy seal of approval, and like I said, I enjoyed my time on it, and I will come back to it. So yeah, companies, please make more mice like this. That's going to be all for this video. Make sure to leave a like and sub. Peace.